So Florida State lands an important piece on the defensive line. Bishop Thomas is a 4-star prospect out of Orlando, but actually originally from Louisiana. He's one of these guys from Louisiana that David Johnson, FSU's recruiting coordinator, had a lot of ties with. He actually, I think he's good friends with Byron Turner, who was a redshirt freshman this past season for Florida State. And he committed to FSU last summer, considered Texas, Tennessee, Ole Miss. He's listed at 6'2", 280 pounds. We think he's going to be a defensive tackle at the next level. What kind of things, when you watch him, Dominic, what kind of things do you see out of Bishop Thomas?
The first thing I see is just super athlete. This guy is super athletic. He's doing a multitude of things for his team. And, the versatility, as I've said, with all of these prospects, man, there's nothing more valuable than being versatile to your staff. As a college coach, when you have a guy that can do multiple things, it just opens up, the ability for so many different options. The thing that worries me, and if there was anything, is there's not a lot of video of him doing what I think he'll do in college. We think he's probably a defensive tackle. I wonder, as a college coach, I'd wonder technically where he'll be in terms of, has he been taught techniques to be successful as a defensive lineman at the college level? And that would be the thing that, I would love to have him, at a camp or something like that, so I could work with him to get a better feel for, how does he fit and how is he? I mean, look at that. He's incredibly physical, and he'll turn around from being, the fullback and just running over somebody, and then the very next play he lines up at wideout. How many guys in the country are 280 pounds and are going to be college defensive tackles can say, hey, man, I caught a couple passes when I was in high school. There's not many across the country that can say that. Like, a defensive tackle who's got 17 receptions on the year is a pretty cool deal. So, this is a guy who's a super athlete. He's going to be a big-time player. There he is catching a touchdown pass, from an H-back position. This is a special athlete. That these are the type of guys that as a college staff that they're invaluable, because you want a guy that can do multiple things and sort of have a Swiss Army knife about him, on top of the fact that he's incredibly physical.
So, and back to your first question, or the concern you had that you mentioned earlier. So if a guy mostly has been, because in high school, I assume he's probably their best athlete, big, strong dude, they're just kind of sending him after the quarterback, right? And so how much different is it to be, and can you compare it to guys maybe that were at Florida State when you played, or guys that you know of that maybe it took a little while to kind of learn that part of being a D tackle?
I'll say this is that as a college, coach, I care more about knowing he's a super athlete and that he can do multiple things and that he's a freak like he is here, than about seeing him do, our college techniques and running our scheme or things like that, because that's our job. When you come to college, I don't expect you to show up to college being a finished product and know how we play and the techniques we play and how to, use your tools to be effective. I don't expect you to get there. I would, athleticism is, it's a premium. There's only so much you can do as a coach to get a guy to be more athletic, but there's so that I will say that there's definitely a priority in getting guys like this who can do things like that, physically, than having a guy that's super technical, understands, leverage and all these things. Like, that's my job. When you get here, we'll get you where you need to be as a college, as a college player.
Well, that's Bishop Thomas. As we said, he's officially listed out of Orlando right now. That's where he played in high school the last couple of years, but he's from Louisiana. Certainly the state of Louisiana has put out some big-time defensive linemen, and Florida State fans certainly hope that Bishop Thomas will be the next in that line as part of this 2022 signing class.